I want to talk about this is crazy. Multiple lovers, sexting strangers, and men refusing to pay the bill will reveal brand new rules on modern dating. If you're out and about and you want to do some dating,
yep,
you need to listen to this. This is pretty amazing stuff because it's really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Particularly since I haven't been dating for 18 years, and now I'm back I'm not in the dating scene. I'm not looking to date.
No.
When it happens, it happens. I'm not on anything. I'm not
a little bit, just a little.
No. I mean, if I run into someone at church or the laundromat or on my street,
if you want to meet Tony Kurre, go to church, his street, or the laundromat.
So
Nobody goes to laundromat. So you have a laundry machine here.
If she wants to come over here and do some laundry, if you know what I mean, then I'm all about it. But I'm not looking to date. I'm not on any dating apps.
No, but you're open to it.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to come up to me.
But you're going to have to come
If I see a good-looking woman and someone says, hey, she's interested in you, I have made some phone calls.
Yep, that's good. Don't look for him at Whole Foods. He'll be at Publix.
Now, Publix, I'm hearing, I got to share something with you. Publix, by the way, I'm being told for people my age group, and I hate when people say that because I will date a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
That's the great place to pick up women our age. I haven't seen it. I don't go to stores to pick up women, but I'm being told by numerous people at that Publix up the street that's like the one. They should have dating
Not the Patchwork Farms one over there by Lifetime.
I want to tell you.
Look at us. We sound like a local
you just said it. You just said it.
What, you should go over to that one?
Jeff Hammock was here while you were off. You know, all shit flies when you were not here.
Yeah.
You know how I was when you came back.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, surveillance and everything. He said there's a little place up the street where people work out. You need to be careful. I'm saying this as a friend, and I'm saying this live. You need to be really careful because he said that place it's not a gym. Yeah. I said I drive by there Sunday morning at 6:30 and the parking lot's full, and he goes, and I'm sitting in that parking lot. And I'm like, really? He goes, I get a call. They don't spend any money with us, but we'll take it if we will. Because
I love Lifetime. I'm a huge
and I like what it's all about. And I said, well, they don't pretend to be just a gym because they have a cafe, and they have aerobics classes, they have Bible studies. I mean, that place does it all. It can be its own like community. He said, I am in that parking lot 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And he sends me a picture later that morning.
For
cheaters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
And I said, really?
I don't understand. Do they meet at the? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. You lost me. What are they doing? They're not having sex at Lifetime.
Well, they're either going to Lifetime and then meeting somebody.
Oh yeah, well that would work.
You know what? I'm taking up my workout, so I was going 3 times. Backs and buys, bunts and tries.
This is a spy for rent story. Because Lifetime opens up at 4 a.m.
When you start working out at midnight, hey, it's a 24-hour place, and I need to start working out. If your mate is cutting loose, and all of a sudden they start wanting to work out at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's something up.
Well,
don't give me that. I'm traveling. Blah blah blah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's go here. Let's be careful. Let's go there though, because Lifetime is not 24 hours, but there are 24-hour fitness. Mm-hmm. I wonder if
Planet Fitness is 24 hours, right?
No, I don't think
I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah.
I understand you go work third shift or whatever.
Yeah, because
you need to go work out at midnight. Yeah. But if all of a sudden some guy wants to start working out at 11 o'clock at night.
No, right, no.
And he's holding a regular job and he's too busy, something's up.
I agree.
And it's your gut. If your gut says, he's never worked out a day in his life.
Yeah, well, of course.
This is really weird. Oh, he wants to look better for me. That's wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. Then you better be going to the gym with him a couple of times and saying, let me see this new gym you're going to. Mm-hmm. Just to be cool. I'm not saying not trust him.
I thought he was going to talk about the Publix up there.
No, those people are too old to.
Wait, to Patchwork, but you're going to the one up here.
Well, I don't go to get laid. I go there to shop.
No, you don't.
If I see something, that's fine. But I've been told by like 4 people up there. My son works there, for God's sakes. Maybe my son's getting laid. He's up there. He's 17. Maybe he's picking up on 45-year-olds.
This is perfect. He's bagging for people, right?
Yeah.
He could text you, Dad, I need you to come up here right now and go to aisle 3.
No, he's good for me because I will always go. He's a bagger.
Yeah.
And I will always go to his lane.
I do too.
And I will always, and he's very professional.
Yes, he is.
And I'll put he
he doesn't like that.
Because he's working, right?
Yeah.
And I always tip him.
You can't.
They're not supposed to tip. They can take tips. They're not supposed to take tips, but
really,
if you force someone to take a tip, they will take it. They're like, if someone says you're taking this, then you take it. So I usually give him $5-10 every time I go.
That's weird. You're his dad.
He's working today, by the way, at
Okay.
4:15, so I expect you to go up there and tip him. And so people see that, and then they see the dad with the son and
They
and
love it.
older.
Might as well have a puppy and a
man.
baby.
I mean, if I had a puppy in one arm and a
And an
baby in the
infant.
other, and I'm hugging my son, I'm getting some in fresh produce by 3:00 today. But yeah, there's, for the most part, every time I'm in that store, there's somebody in there that I'm like, I'll look at the finger.
That's why you're there every day. You're there like every day.
I went in there yesterday just
See
for.
what I mean? You're there every day. How many days a week do you go there?
I went in there one time. I went in there yesterday just to get some mashed potatoes. I had a few minutes,
Yeah, well, we live very close.
and I was like, "We need some mashed potatoes." So I stopped in there, and sure enough, saw one walking across the parking lot. I love me some
Okay.
Spanx. Talk about one of our great
Yes.
sponsors, and I want to get into this. This may take
Everything
the
that
rest
we
of the show.
just talked about and everything we're going to talk about, if you're a male, has to do with your prostate.
Yes.
Because if your prostate is not working, then a lot of these things we talk about are not going to be working. So you need to make sure you stay on top of prostate cancer. 1 out of 9 men are going to develop prostate cancer. It's very common. It's incredibly treatable. And our sponsor, Vituro Health, is there educating men about, number one, that you need to monitor your prostate's health. That means going and having a blood test every year and having your prostate examined, living a healthy lifestyle. But then number 2, Vituro Health is there, and they just made another announcement on LinkedIn yesterday about new forms of treatment for prostate cancer. Treatment that is minimally invasive, meaning you may not need to have the surgery, which means your downtime is less and less negative side effects, maybe sexual side effects, incontinence. So go to their webpage today, VituroHealth.com. Get information about prostate health and prostate cancer. That's VituroHealth.com.
And Cleet Walker will join us on Thursday
That's
at
right.
9:15. The Mike Sly Foundation is
Yes.
doing their annual thing again, and he will join us on the show coming up on Thursday at 9:15. He's always good and brings a special guest as well, so we'll have him on coming up here. This is the Kurre and Klapow Show. We're on from 7:30 to 9:30 every morning on the KCAST radio app. That'll be changing over to the Tony Curry radio app, hopefully by the end of the week. Got some big meetings going on tomorrow with those fine folks. And then, of course, you can listen to us again from 6 to 8 every Monday through Friday night. And you can certainly watch us on the Tony Curry Facebook page. And also, we have podcasts, at least 2 or 3 podcasts that come out every single day. So wherever you listen to your podcast. And right now, I've gotten several of my friends that didn't realize that we've got like hundreds of podcasts, and they're binging us right now. And they're like, I love it. It's great. They're listening show after show after show. So Kurre and Klapow is now being binged. So it's great.
That's great.
So this is out of the Sun out of the UK.
It's okay.
And they have gotten on every dating app they could possibly get their hands on. They did this massive survey to find out brand new dating habits of these little young whippersnapper millennials. And this goes.
By the way, the millennials now are 40. Just,
I know, right?
just so you know.
Well, it's funny because this is 18 to 43-year-olds.
Yeah, so you got Gen Z.
And they got 3,000 of them.
That's a good number. It's a good sample size.
So I'm gonna give you some of the survey questions. Should a guy always open doors? And this says on first dates, but really on dates for women. Chivalry.
Sure, why not? Unless she says, "Don't open the door."
Give me a percentage.
Oh,
This is men and women.
men and women.
Yeah.
Oh, this makes it messy. 42%.
7-8%.
Okay,
which
good.
is good.
That makes me feel.
I'm surprised it's not a little higher.
I would think it would be a little lower.
Because when you're courting someone, you want to do all the right things, and then after you get her, then you just leave your underwear on the floor and you don't do things anymore. Would you consider an open relationship?
Would I know?
What do you think these 3,000 people
God,
said?
please be like 40%,
That high?
30%.
39% said
Well,
yes
that
or
was
maybe.
close. Okay. About a
An
third.
open relationship meaning that you are.
Will and Jada.
Yes, you're in a relationship with somebody, and obviously it has to be a two-way street. It's not open if you're cheating or you're having sex and she doesn't know about it. That doesn't count.
It's not open.
But 39%, 40% of people, that's a lot of
But listen,
people.
so let me just say this too. That's a decent, that age range. I'm not being a research critic, but that age range, if you're going 18 to 40, think about just I don't know, just cohorts. 18 to 25, you're not really in the marriage cohort that much. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
but I mean, there is a point in time where, you're exclusive, right? If you're with somebody and the sex is good and you're getting along with them, you're going to have that discussion we've talked about on the show where you're like, hey, listen, it's going really, really well.
Right.
Are we exclusive? Or are you?
Okay, I'm with you.
Because for the most part, unless you broach the subject, I'm always going to assume that if I'm going out with a woman and we've gone out 4, 5, 6 times, I'm going to hope I'm the only guy in her life because I may be seeing her 2-3 days a week. Maybe I'm spending a night over her house. But I don't know for sure until I ask, because that is one of those things where I'm assuming that we're getting along so well that she wouldn't want to see anyone else. Ooh. But at one point you're like, hey, by the way, and it's heart-wrenching when you find out you're not the only dude. Well, we hadn't really talked about it, but if that's what you want, then I can tell Joe that I don't want to see him anymore and we can be exclusive. And then that's called a commitment. I mean, it's the first step to marriage, right?
Yes.
In this particular case, 4 out of 10 people who are already in a relationship that they dig or else they'd get out,
right,
want to sleep with other people.
It's interesting. I guess you're making the assumption sleeping.
Well, if you're in an open relationship, eventually you're going to have sex with that person.
Yeah.
So that's part of it.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah, but I do think it's different than a...
By the way, we're having a syphilis explosion, by the way. I heard a story on the way in.
We are in the UK is.
No, everywhere. Syphilis is
that's
one of those diseases where we thought it was done, and it's.
What are we getting out and not protecting? Am I gonna have to call my kids?
Should a guy pay on a first date? What do the men say?
Yes, 80% say yes.
70% of men say they should pay on a first date. 30% of dudes say no. Losers. You're flipping losers.
They're 18.
I'm sorry. It's
18-year-old.
Well, then they don't have good dads. Then their dads need to tell them, hey, listen, boys always pay or men always pay, at least on the first date. Now, if she demands, what do women say? Should a guy pay on the first date?
60%.
47% of women say
Good.
The men should pay.
Good.
So a lot of women are like, I'll take care of myself.
No, I love that.
And I think a lot of women pay so they don't feel obligated to go further along with it.
Listen, I got a daughter. I think that's super smart.
I do too.
I think it's reasonable. I think as a guy, you don't have to take that as any. Well,
you have to take it. Yes.
I was going to say you take it as a sign, which is she's saying, "I don't know about you yet."
If a woman says,
"I love that,"
I do too.
And that's why you're saying, as a man, you should always offer. We've talked about this though. There's a weird dynamic here because if you say if it's kind of let's go out on a date together and it's kind of joint, then I think it's a toss-up. If you say, we've talked about this, let me take you out to dinner.
Yeah.
If you say, let me take you out to dinner, you should pay.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're the one asking, hey,
right.
You want to go out and have dinner? Or I'll meet you somewhere. I'll pick you up. If you're the one that's making the date, then you should take care of the date. And that goes for women too. I mean, I wouldn't let her pay. If for some reason a woman ask me out, then I would still step up and I would take care of it. And I think she'd appreciate that.
No, but in this case, she might say, no, Tony, I've asked you out. And that's where but that's where you can make a real idiot out of yourself.
Yeah.
If she's taking you out and she wants to pay, you can do the no, and we all do this. It's not even a woman thing. No, please let me do it. No, please let me do it. And then if they go, no, I insist, you stop.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you then look like an idiot.
Insist is the word.
Well, yeah, it's not chivalrous.
But if a woman does demand, or she's already paid before you get the opportunity to pay, it ain't going well.
No, I don't think that's true.
No, for guys, that's like, no, that's going to make the guy want her even more because she's independent and she can take care of herself.
Yes.
But if a woman's like, I got this, the chances are you ain't having a second date. Would you have sex on a first date?
This is hard at my age compared to when I was.
Well, that's why I want to read it because it's a
because this is 18 to 40. If I was 18, yes. Well, these are people in relationships.
No, when they're not in a relationship, if they're having a first date.
No. But the sample is people in a relationship.
There are 3,000 singles.
Oh, they're singles. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's 3,000. These are all single people. Would you have sex on a first date?
I would say, you're asking me my men versus women?
No, just all.
42% say yes.
46% said yes.
Yeah.
That's a little higher than I thought.
Yeah, there's a cheating.
If it's going well, you're going to get some. But it doesn't have to be a first date.
Well, but again, I'm telling you, it's a sample. That sample
Ladies, you need to hold off. Ladies need to hold off.
Well, this
Guys will always want
Well,
sex.
here's the
on
other
first date.
thing. You know what? I know you hate when I do this, but that's assuming that everybody there is straight. Nobody's bi, nobody's gay in that sample.
Yeah, there's no bis or no gays or transgender people in this poll.
How do you know?
I just made it up.
Yeah, okay, that just makes your
I
life
don't want to.
easier.
I don't want to exactly, and I want to make this
But
as
it's
easy as
not true.
possible. Guys will always have sex on the first date
No, they won't.
for the most part.
No, they won't.
If this was men and female, I bet you it's 80-20. Anyway, but I was surprised that many women would say yeah. If no, how long would you wait?
Like how many dates?
It's by time. 1 to 3 dates is 17% a week. You might as well have sex on the first date. 7%, 2 weeks, 15%, 3 weeks, 8%. A 1 month is 34%. That's the most common one. They want to wait a month
Yeah.
after the first date before they do
that's,
it.
well, it's
And
assuming
then-
you go,
and then-
well, okay, and that's weird because how many dates are you getting in that month?
Well, and how many dates are guys willing to go out with you if they're not getting any?
That's terrible.
I'm being
That's
I'm
terrible.
being truthful.
See, come on.
6 months or longer is 19%. I don't know too many guys that would go out with a woman 6 months and not get any. If I'm dating a woman for 6 months and we haven't had sex, then there's
What's
something.
a conversation?
There's a conversation.
Well, if
to
you're
be had.
18 or you're 20, you're like, I'm saving it for my marriage. I'm telling you, this,
Yeah, I know.
this sample is combining. And when you combine a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old,
Mhm.
unless you're a 40-year-old virgin,
Yeah. Would you meet your date for the first time at their house?
I'm sorry, percentages. 39% say yes.
38%, very good.
Look at me.
That
I'm
number,
so
according to
dialed
the
in.
survey, that was the big mind blower. That women, particularly,
Yeah.
are willing to have a guy meet them at their house. And I'm not talking about like we've known each other, or they're friends of the family. I already know who the guy is. I'm talking guys, total strangers. Yeah, and we had that conversation with Jeff Hammock too, which is like one of the dumbest things.
Yeah.
If you have an 18 or 19-year-old daughter and she just
I
met
know.
some
We've
dude on a
already had this
dating app and he's
conversation.
coming to your house,
Yeah.
that's a big no-no. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Your favorite date, a meal, number 1, a drink, number 2, coffee, number 3, a walk, number 4, a film, number 5, and for sex. 6%
Well,
said
that's
my
just a
favorite
hookup.
date
That's
is
not a
sex.
date.
A film was always number 1 for me.
Can you imagine doing that on a date? Saying, let's have a date. Well, what should we do? Let's just have sex.
Oh, we're going there.
Okay.
You
know,
a
we've
film
got
was always perfect. First of all, if you're going on a first date, it doesn't matter what your age is, go out to lunch.
Or a cup of coffee.
There's even that dating site.
Just lunch.
Just lunch. Because it gives you an hour.
Yeah.
You got to go back to work.
Right. There's
If
no.
it's going fantastic, you can always go have another one. And if it's lousy, you're meeting someone somewhere. So you can leave whenever you want to.
Yep.
And that's the old, I got to get up early for work tomorrow. I can't spend the night kind of thing. I got news for you. I don't care how early a guy's got to get up to work. If he's having a good time, he will spend the night with you.
Yeah.
If a guy ever says, I got an early day tomorrow, then chances are it's not heading in the right direction.
You're so like all or none on this.
I've been there, dude.
Yeah, but you've been there
I
a
got
long
55
time ago.
years of dating prowess. I know what I'm talking about. Have you ever had an open relationship? We had that question earlier
They don't
about
want-
would you want an open relationship or would you
Oh.
be entertaining one? 40% of people said yes. Have you ever had an open relationship? That is, you're dating, you're having open relationship.
It's not marriage. And yeah, that's you. We have a special guest coming on.
So we're talking about some different dating habits
Mm-hmm.
until we decided to have Paul Dabbs on just a few minutes ago. And was going through some of the questions. It's 3,000 folks, single folks between the ages of 18 and 40. And the questions we are asking about open relationships. Would you kiss on a first date? Yes or no?
Yeah, 70% said yes.
81% said yes,
Okay.
which is interesting because 40% would have sex on a first date. Maybe they'd have sex but not kiss
Yeah,
on
as
a
long as
first date.
because kissing's more intimate.
You know what? That's why.
What I saw was that in a movie.
No, porn stars are big on that. Like a lot of porn stars, they will have sex, but they will not kiss.
because kissing's
Just-
intimate.
Whatever.
It is.
Would you be offended if the opposite sex offered to pay for a
No.
date?
Oh, 30% said no.
91% of women said they'd be offended. Or I'm sorry, 91%. 9% said yes, they'd be offended. 15% of men said they'd be offended. More and more guys sound like they're just lazy.
No, you see,
Yes.
no.
More
lazy
guys.
is
Well,
not
if she wants to
excuse.
pay. That's one of those things where no, I
No,
will
yeah,
take
but-
care of it.
no, but
Now, again, you can use the insist word.
Yeah, I mean, you got to listen. Okay, let me say this: you got to be careful, Mister. I'm getting back in the dating thing.
Yes.
There is such thing as chivalry, but when you're saying, if you say I'd like to pay, and she says no, I'm going to pay. Yes, you can do that. Please let me pay.
Yeah.
But if you go any farther than that, then you are insulting her.
Oh, I'm not going to go as far as an assault her.
No. I'm saying no. I'm not saying you're insulting by insisting. You got to stop. This is flip it the other way. If you're the guy, and you want to pay, and she's like, no, let me pay, and you're like, no, I got it, and she's like, no, let me pay. At some point, you feel put out. Like this is to me. You got to be super careful about. Particularly if with a woman, about sort of taking over in that way. If you're insisting on paying, or you say I want to pay, and they say yes, it's great.
Then maybe that's just not the woman for me.
Yeah, but I mean,
when I take my daughter out, when I pick her up, she's got a doctor's appointment today.
But now you're going again. But I think you have to make it clear. You've said it. I think the rule is it's not gender driven. That's my point. It's not gender driven.
I will just say this: do the right thing, hold the door open, offer to pay, and then if she decides she doesn't want that, then okay, then that's on her. I will say fine with that. But that doesn't mean guys go, what do you think we should do here?
No.
Should we go Dutch? Should we
no.
Offer to pay. I think it's proper to offer to pay to show that you are taking initiative and that you've enjoyed our company and that I would like to take you out. You make it real easy. You be the one to call and say, hey, listen, I'd like to take you out. I'd like to take you out to dinner. No, I said I took you out to dinner. Then you could pay the next time.
No,
that's fine.
Exactly what I'm saying. I think it shouldn't be gender.
I don't know any woman that doesn't like to have a door held open for her.
Yeah. But let me say something about the door thing. Because I think this is really interesting, because this is, for me, something that when I moved to the South that was very different than from growing up on the West Coast. Here in the South, everybody opens the door for everybody.
Yep.
I never seen anything like it my entire life. And then when I first moved here, it was mostly I saw men opening doors for women. I saw young, teenagers opening doors. I thought, oh, this is great. We're raising our boys right. And then I realized, and I saw it, and I see it at Lifetime every morning, that it is people opening doors for people, which is great. I mean, I go into the gym every morning. If I'm approaching the same time, I'm just as likely for a guy to open the door for me as a girl. So I think
being nice is being nice.
Yes.
Now I've had a woman walk in the door first and then hold the door for me. That's fine. That's not opening the door for me.
Right. No, it's not the same.
If we both arrive at the door at the same time, then I will make a point to, and she'll go, thank you.
Thank you. Well, and then if there's two doors, if there's two doors, then they reciprocated the second door. That happens all the time. You got to go to Lifetime. Jeff Hammack will be there. You should see how you go.
Oh, there's some door opening at Lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's the thing. I was just thinking about that, too. I know a lot of physicians who go there who, like you said, they had to be in surgery. So they're coming out when I get there. I get there about 5 a.m., a little before.
Oh, they're doing some surgical precision,
right? They got their scrubs on, though.
Oh, they got their scrubs on. Currently, are you multi-dating? In other words, dating 3 or more people?
Jeez. 18 to 40, 40% say yes.
29% say yes.
Okay, that's good.
That's
nice.
See, I think
it's a third and a third and a third. It's always a third and a third and a third.
Well, yeah, but I think a lot of people are like I always tell, like my daughter, Lila Curry question of the day.
Okay, she's 9.
She's like asking me if I'm going to date again, and I said, I'm sure I'll do something someday.
Let's go to Publix.
Who are you going to be married to, and is she going to be pretty, and what's she going to look like? Is she going to look like mom? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and then she's like, and I said, well, yeah, I'm going to date around. And she goes, what? And I said, I'm going to date more than one person. I said, I'm not saying that I will date them all at the same time, but if I go out with a woman and have a nice date, and I want to go out with her again, and then I meet another woman that comes out of nowhere 2 days later, and she says, you want to go out and have a cup of coffee? I will, early in the relationship, until I feel like it's time to be exclusive with one or the other, or 3 or 4. And I said, that's what my dad used to always say, play the field.
Play the field.
Because, go out there, and that's what dating apps are all about. That's why you have 50 different people you're looking at. You know, that's what you do. I said, I'm not saying that you have relationships with 50 different people or 3 different people, or you're having sex with it. Yeah.
You
or having
said that?
sex. Intimate. I said intimate. I used the Josh Klapow intimate because she doesn't know what the hell intimate. What is intimate? Then what?
Thank God. I can imagine.
Kissing. Oh, I said I'm not going to kiss one girl hello and then. How many dates have you had? What's the most women you've been with in a 24-hour period?
In a 24-hour period?
Yeah.
30.
Answer it truthfully.
When I was a teen 3. And it made me super, I was super uncomfortable the entire time. It was just,
Did you have 3 different dates or did you sleep with 3 different people?
Oh, no, no, just dates. I never slept with 3.
How did you date 3 different people in a 24-hour period? Did you go out with a woman at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I had a morning and then I had someone in the
You had a date in the morning?
Yeah, we went to more, like, it wasn't coffee because we went to like a park or something. I didn't have sex with 3
Did you
women.
kiss all 3 of them? Yes.
Yes.
So you were intimate with them then?
Well, yeah, because yeah. But let me tell you, I did not date a lot.
Yeah.
I was with only a few women. It made me, even at 18 to 22, I'm like a relationship guy.
Yeah.
So like I felt guilty, even though I wasn't doing anything. I did not enjoy, like, psychologically, it weighed on me to have my emotions dedicated to more than one person.
I'm with you because
Like,
I always think about if I was going out with a girl for breakfast and I knew she was leaving me at noon to go meet another guy,
would
piss me off.
Right.
It would make me feel bad. There's nothing I can really say. Maybe it was the first, second, third date or whatever.
Yeah.
But I go,
I'm telling you,
there's enough here to go around. Why are you, you know what I'm saying?
If you're the kind of person, I really think this is interesting. If you're the kind of person who says, I'm dating, 3, 4, 5 people, and particularly if you're doing it in the same day, not 3, 4, 5, but more than one, and this is okay, you are nowhere near ready to have a committed relationship psychologically. Like, psychologically, and if you can't get past that, right, you can't get tired of that, then you shouldn't be in a committed relationship. You talk about your, people guys will still get after it, and they did. You're not ready. And it's not a judgment call. Mm-hmm. This is, you've heard me say this a million times on this show. There are so many people that should not be married. I don't mean not mean not be married to that person. Mm-hmm. They are not marriage material. Yep. And I don't mean that it's bad material. Yep. They are an orange instead of an apple, and the oranges don't get married.
If you are multi-dating, how many people are you seeing at the same time? 0 to 3 is 56%, 3 to 6 is 34%, 6 to 9 is 7%, 10 or more.
Yeah, because that was...
How the hell do you see 10 different people at one time?
Well, it's not at the same
day.
day.
I have a hard time keeping up with one. The average is 2.76. Do you think guys should ask a girl out first? Yes or no?
Yeah, 60% said yes.
That's 50-50.
Okay.
Would you like it if your date brought you flowers? It's not a male or female, it's just a percentage.
70% said yes.
62%. Have you ever had a woman give you flowers?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had, yes.
Were you in a hospital or anything? Were you sick?
No, I had one girlfriend when I was in high school. She brought me like a rose a couple times. Yeah, she was...
It's kind of like the Bachelorette.
Well, it was a Prince Apollonia thing.
What do you mean?
I can't go there.
What are you talking about?
I had this girlfriend during the time when
I'm putting my papers down.
When Purple Rain was a big deal. I was 16, 17, and she was very much into romance and intimacy.
Yes,
across the board. Letters she wrote, music she listened to, the way she dressed, all of that, and she would bring me, not all the time, but I can think on multiple occasions, she brought me like a rose.
Yeah, that's nice. And she looked like Apollonia? Is that where the connection is?
She sort of went after that Apollonia lace bustier.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is her name Jules?
No. I don't think Jules went through an Apollonia stage.
Yeah.
That's not Jules.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a woman just give me a gift just to give me a gift.
Oh, just to give you a gift?
I have stalkers that have given me
Well,
things.
you had groupies and fans and shit. So like,
I had one woman that would show up
Yeah,
once a
that's
week or
different.
something, and I'm like, stop buying me things because I felt obligated then, and it was
Yeah,
and,
that's-
and,
that's
I, and I knew it was not going to be something I pursued, so I was kind of like,
That's different.
Okay, that's but just
I've had my girlfriends give me gifts.
just out of the
because-
blue,
Yeah.
like for no reason, not for birthdays and stuff like that, but just
Well,
for
my
no reason.
wife does that. Like when she goes on a trip, like she went on a trip, she brought me something back.
Well, that's a trip. I'm just
Okay.
talking about like a Tuesday. She comes in, she's like,
yeah.
not bringing you like a doggy bag. Hey, I brought you home a brownie because I went to the Cheesecake Factory for lunch.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
like an actual
Like if
gift.
Jules brought
I was
me
thinking about
chutney
you, and
the
I
other
bought
day.
you a watch.
Oh,
or,
not a big gift. No.
or a flower.
Jules has brought me flowers, but it was it was a celebration of something.
There's always a connection there. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
there was a connection. It wasn't random.
Yeah.
She brings me home but I don't like. I don't like
Well, this is a
flowers.
good question too because I got this situation coming up.
Okay.
I already know what I'm going to do, but I wanted to get your thoughts
Okay,
on
well,
it.
did you ask Lila yet?
So, no, well, yeah. So my divorce was final in May.
Oh,
Right?
congratulations.
Thank you. Hooty hoo. Winners all around. And so my ex-wife's birthday is coming up on the 19th.
Of November.
And so when my birthday was in March, we were still together,
Oh,
but we were separated. We've been separated for 2.5 years, and
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just not good.
Yeah, okay.
And so she did the old, what do you want for your birthday to
Yeah.
get something from the kids.
Yeah, okay. Kids are always good.
So now
pawn.
my 17-year-old is old enough to make his own call, but I know he's not going to.
Right.
Because he's 17. He's a knucklehead.
Well, no,
And
he's
that's
bagging
what's
at Publix.
And then my 14-year-old, and my 9-year-old, and I know my 9-year-old loves her mom as she should. All my kids do. And so I brought it up to them. I said, hey, by the way, your mom's birthday's coming up in 18 days. Has she dropped any hints?
Yes.
And they said no. And so I'm like, okay, because I know my kids aren't old enough to go get a car and to go drive around and go shopping for their mom. And so I need to get something for them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could make my 17-year-old son do it and say, hey, listen, take your brother and sister out and go buy, or here's some money to go. But it's her birthday, so I'm obviously going to, I will give her something for her birthday.
Mm-mm.
It's her birthday.
No,
There's still that connection.
no.
No?
I don't think you need to give her anything for her birthday. I think the kids do, and I think you help you.
And they know that's coming from me, so that's kind of a,
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're going to get real here, that's part of the separation. That's part of the break at this point. Why are you
yeah,
buying?
I'm pretty sure she's not going to give me anything for my birthday.
Well, if you're going to do that, why don't you ask? Why don't you ask her? Look, now you can do what you want. I think everybody can do one. Everybody has different relationships.
Maybe a card. I'm a card guy. Send her a card.
Yeah, you could.
It's taking the high road.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you enjoy your special
I want
day.
you. Yeah, I think you can do that.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely
All right, that's
fine.
what I'll do then.
But like, don't go be getting like a big giant gifts because it's
So I send her flowers.
no, because you're late. Like, but you know what? Can I say this?
Yeah.
This sort of divorce thing, it has full circles for a lot of couples. So in the beginning, no, you don't get presents and you don't get stuff. The kids you do, and that's fine. But then over time, for some divorced couples, I've seen a lot where this doesn't happen. There is a joining back together, usually through the kids.
Yeah.
You have a different relationship, you have friends.
Yeah.
And I have seen, and not just my own story, but I've seen where you get, again, because you have the kids. That's the whole point. If you don't have the kids, it's a whole
No,
different-
if you have no kid, yeah.
but if you have the kids, where I do see, the kids are growing up, and then the divorced couple, they get each other gifts.
Yeah.
Usually holiday time. Not for birthdays, I haven't seen. Not for birthdays.
All right then.
So you're fine.
Would you date?
Oh, you got Christmas coming up.
I know.
Look, I'm going to just say, no, listen, it applies. You're safe because you got the kids as your pawns. Kids are your pawns. Everything goes to the kids right now.
Yeah.
You can wish greetings. You give a card along with this is whatever. If the kids ask you, you can do something from you and the kids.
Oh, that's good. That's what I'll do. Would you date someone who isn't double vaccinated?
Double vaccine? Oh,
Double vaccinated.
oh
Fully
hell no!
vaccinated.
You know me. Oh hell no!
62% said yes.
Well, that's well, it's the UK too. It's
These are the
different.
same ones that would have sex in the first date.
And have syphilis.
Would you talk about your kinks on a
Kinky?
first date?
Like kinky stuff?
Yeah, they call it the kinks. Would you talk about
No.
kinks on a first date?
No. Oh, I get 42% said yes.
Only 24% said
Okay,
yes.
good. They're good.
If
That's good.
yes, what are your kinks?
Pain,
Pain, dom, submission would be 13%.
urination.
No, no.
What else is on there?
Outdoor sex is number
Well,
one.
that's not kink.
21%.
Okay,
Well, that's kind of, have you ever thought on a first date? Have you
Okay.
ever thought about doing it behind a tree in a park?
back.
Role playing, be 18%.
Oh, that's good.
Domination, submission, 13%. Bondage, jeez, dude, on the first date, you're talking
Oh,
about
this
bondage?
was first date?
Yes.
No, but it's talking about. It's not doing.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good to get all that stuff out in the open.
If you're really into it, it's that important, and you're into bondage, and you have to get it out there, I mean, you will set the table real quick.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do it unless you're really interested.
The first thing I think is she obviously doesn't want to go on a date with me because she's throwing this stuff out too early. Like if
Well,
she's
yeah,
like
that's
into-
it. Yeah.
And then 10% of people on a first date said they'll talk about threesomes.
Oh my God. Well, there's idiots. I mean, on a first date. Well, okay. You could talk about it in the abstract.
Yeah.
So what do you think about those people who have threesomes?
What would have happened if I brought my girlfriend with me? Or
No.
next
See,
door
but
neighbor?
you know. Okay.
Would you talk about sex on a first date? 46% said yes. 54% said no. Do you want to get married? These are 18 to 40-year-olds, 3,000 single people.
62%
Men-
said yes.
62% of men said yes. What about women?
It's either low or high. It's either like 40% or 70%.
71% of women said yes.
Yes. Okay.
So women still want to get married more than men do. And at least according to Dr. Misty Smith, who we've had on the show a million times, and it was probably one of my best questions, and it was probably one of the worst answers because it freaked me out. She said that 75%, and she's a marriage counselor, she said, and a sex therapist, she said 75% of the patients she's had come to see her got married for sake of being married, not because they loved the person they were marrying.
Yeah. Well, but hey, yeah.
The whole idea of being married.
No, but hang
they
on.
were more in love with marriage than they
Yes.
were with the person.
But I
they were
want you
married
to feel okay about this. There is what we call a selection bias. These are people who came to see Misty.
True.
So I'm not saying that that's not true, but that number is probably high because that's like saying, when Jules in psychotherapy, what percentage of people have psychological problems? Well, for her, it's 100%.
Yeah, but I would also make an argument that 75% of couples should be in marriage counseling. But
Yeah,
they're
I
not.
know, but they should. But I'm telling you, I don't think it's that high. I don't think it's that high.
Would you suggest to a healthy couple to go to marriage counselor if they're not having issues?
Yeah. First of all, there is no healthy couple that has zero issues.
Yeah. Well, I know.
No, there doesn't have to be major issues. Yeah. But if money was not an issue, in other words, if there were no barriers, right? Mm-hmm. You could get in to see somebody, you either had the money or it was paid for or whatever. And then absolutely, because every couple can name 3 or 4 things that are challenging for them as a couple.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk too much. She's not direct enough with me. I have some issues with his family. And when you say these things, I mean, look, I've been married 23 years. These are still problems.
Yeah.
So if you're asking people should go to marriage, absolutely, because you have a chance to deal with these things before. Now, should you go to marriage counseling 5 months before the wedding is going to take place and you've already said it? Yes, but that's not the best way to do it.
Yeah.
What I would be doing is if you're a couple, and let's say you haven't even got engaged yet, but you're just dating the person, or maybe you got engaged, that's when you go.
Do you want children? Men and women.
68% of women said yes. 62 men said yes.
Overall, 63% said they want children.
Yeah.
Would you send sext messages outside of relationships? 75% said no, which is really surprising. I don't think they want to send sex, but I think in the right situation, they'd probably get a little squirrely.
Outside the relationship?
Outside the relationship.
That's terrible. That's just terrible. Come on, people.
Do you think the guy should be the one to propose, men and women? This was really interesting.
Guys said 80% of men said yes, and 42% of women said yes.
Do you think the guy should propose? 51% of women said yes. 49% said no.
Okay.
That's amazing to me.
Half
Because at least in our culture growing up, the man
This is 18
always
to 40.
proposed.
It's 18
Do
to
you think
40.
the guy should propose? 44% of men said yes.
It's 18. Listen.
I know, and I'm not saying that it's wrong for a woman to propose. I'm not saying it is.
Do you see what's happening? This is a generational difference.
Yeah.
You're a Gen Z, dude. You're almost a boomer.
Whatever, dude.
No, it may. If you think about people who are 18 to 40 right now, there are different social trends, there are different social norms. I mean, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to be more open-minded in your thinking.
No, I'm open to these things.
I know.
I'm just going to do it the way I feel most comfortable and the way I think it should be done. And if it changes, then I can adapt or perish to that.
But you do. See what I think is really interesting about this.
I'm not going to say I won't. If a woman insists she pays on dinner, that's fine.
But this is what I think is interesting about that survey and where you are, or both of us. You are 18. You are essentially 15 years out of that cohort, right?
Yeah.
At least. And that 15 years makes a difference. There's even a difference. I've talked to my kids. My kids are sort of millennial, tail end of millennial Gen Z. You talk to them about 40-year-olds or talk to 20-year-olds about, or 25-year-olds about 18-year-olds. Mm-hmm. There's a huge difference.
Yeah. This along with the same type of survey, because they asked people who are in a relationship, married or otherwise, in an exclusive relationship, who were cheating, but their mates obviously didn't know. And then they said, okay, what about just people that are married? And according to this survey, affairs actually improve marriages. 77% of cheats claim. 2/3 of love rats say they're in a healthy relationship despite playing away. Just 33% of those having flings said they were in an unhappy relationship. So they asked people who were cheating, why are you cheating?
Who were cheating, not who were being cheated upon.
Yeah, who were cheating? Who were actually cheating? So, are you cheating in your marriage? Yes. Okay. Are you in a good relationship with your wife? And they're like, yeah.
Was it men and women?
Men and women. And
because do you remember?
But only 33% of those that were having flings said, my relationship sucks. Because we always think that if you're straying, obviously you're not getting what you want at home.
Don't you remember? What is it? Was it Dr. Missy Smith? Was it Jeff Hammond? Somebody. We were talking about how women very often, I think it was Misty, women will cheat to keep the relationship intact. Yeah. In other words, he's a good guy, he's a good father, blah, blah, blah.
And maybe they're not getting the emotional attachment that they need from their husband,
right.
So they're getting it from somewhere else, and they take it home, which is
the whole thing. Is like
the study of 2,000 married cheats revealed that women were more likely to say they were still in a happy marriage.
That's what we were talking about, yeah.
71% compared to 63% of men. Men were more likely to think an affair improved their marriage.
That's such a guy.
With 81% saying a fling was good for it against 72% of women. So 72% of women
who were cheating.
I'm having a fling and I think it's better for my marriage to have this fling.
But they didn't ask the people who were being cheated on.
The survey also found that despite admitting cheating on their partner, 94% would be furious if they found out their spouse was doing it to them. So if you're cheating on your wife or your husband,
it's great for the relationship.
It's great for you and the relationship. You know why? Because you're getting the best of everything. I've got this constant, stable thing. She's a great mother. She can cook. She's wonderful. She's great. And I got this fling on the outside, and I got this woman who wants to go make it in the park.
But if they were cheating on you, how would you feel? Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so, God, we're so hypocritical. God.
They basically say in a quote, if you're unhappy, your mind is elsewhere. There's no way to compartmentalize an affair. Adulterers don't want to leave their partners. They just want some extra spice in their lives. And by having an affair, they're getting their spice. And
I think spice broadly defined. I think spice is broadly defined. It's not just getting sex. We see it all the time. It's not just getting sex.
What does that say, though, that 77% of people believe their marriage is stronger because they're cheating, knowing that roughly 100% of their spouses would be pissed off if they found out you were cheating on them?
It's called rationalization.
If you think it's healthy, then why wouldn't you have the discussion?
It's rationalization. It's a defense.
Yeah.
Because it's a defense. I want to continue to have my affair. It makes my relationship good. How does it make your relationship? You didn't ask the question.
You ever see that Friends episode, Joey's mom and dad?
What?
Joey's dad's having an affair,
Right.
and his mother knows it.
Right.
And so he's like, this is ending right now. So his dad comes over to his apartment, and he brings his mistress with him, and he gets to know her, and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I've been doing it for years. Does mom know? I don't think so. And so he tries to break it up. Well, he does. And then Joe's mom comes in, and he goes, are you aware that dad's having an affair? And she goes, of course I am. He's been doing it for years. I have no problem with it. He's like, what are you talking about? He goes, it's great. It makes him feel a little guilty about what he's doing because he doesn't know I know.
Dude,
and so he treats me better. And our relationship has never been stronger because of it.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's toxic. Look at my face. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see, like, when you're listening to us, you can't imagine. Like, I'm not even, I have no hair to rip out.
Yeah.
That is so bad on so many levels, and that have nothing to do. I'm not even talking about the morality. Put the morality aside. It is denial. It is rationalization. It is every defense mechanism. It is avoidance of the relationship. It is basically saying you don't have the guts to deal with whatever is going on in your relationship that is not good, or stop the relationship. So instead, you're going to have all this crap on the side. And in the case of Joey's mom, it's pathetic. I mean, if that woman can, I know he's cheating, it makes him feel guilty, so he's nicer to me?
Yeah. Yes.
Leave his ass.
Yes.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But people go at this for years and years, and they crumble inside. They drink. They get ugly. They get bitter. They feel guilty. I mean, you should never be in a relationship that way. Didn't we talk about this is like climate change? This is climate change. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, we got to rip the damn Band-Aid off, and it's going to hurt like hell. But you know what? You're going to be so much of a healthier universe.
Yeah.
Than if you just try to hold it together and go, I feel better because I'm getting the validation. Like, I'm so glad because he's not. It's terrible on so many levels. Like, we were not designed to harbor that kind of guilt and that's why they're called defense mechanisms. It is a game that we play with ourselves. It's not authentic.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You want to if you're religious and you want to come to know God or Jesus or whatever, it's about having an authentic and real relationship. You're not having an authentic and real relationship. You're having a bullshit relationship.
Yeah. I love watching that vein pop out. That's great.
Jeez.